This is the most feared room on our campus, the large exam room, HSB 3. It usually carries an air of tension and stress, striking fear into unprepared students. But today, with the help of many hands, it transforms into something unexpected. An arena of excitement, collaboration, and the joy of mathematics. It's about working together and having fun with math. The competition begins. The envelopes are opened and immediately, the first students rush to present their solutions to the evaluators. Not everyone finds the right answer right away. Some may need to rethink their approach and try again. Soon, more and more students appear, eager to have their answers checked. So what is this competition and how does it work? But let's start from the beginning. It all started around 10 a.m. when the first students arrived with their teachers at the University of Innsbruck, Austria. Laughter and chatter echoing off the walls. Students came not only from the state of Tyrol, but also from neighboring Salzburg and Vorarlberg, and even from the North Italian state of South Tyrol, just to participate in the competition, with a quite interesting name.
First of all, it's named Naboj, and it comes from Slovak language. So there are two meanings. One means a bullet, which is also on the t-shirt, which stands for the speed with which their pupils need to solve problems.
But there is also another meaning.
Nastenku, which is a blackboard, or just a board, on which they were writing results of the first Nabojs, and Suboj, which means a battle, and which combines together to Na. Stenku, Suboj, Naboj.
I have never heard of the competition before. I thought the concept pretty cool, like having teams compete against each other instead of like single individuals, because you can actually think in a group about why things are not true.
As the students entered the room, a sense of enthusiasm filled the air, ready to take on the competition, all in one boat to solve the problems ahead.
16 bin ich jetzt. Ich war letztes Jahr schon mal dabei.
Ich war letztes Jahr auch schon hier. Es war cool mit so vielen verschiedenen Teams im gleichen Raum und die Spannung, und immer wenn dann wieder jemand vorbeigerannt ist, dann wusste man, oh, jetzt hat wieder jemand eine Aufgabe gelöst, und dann ist man gleich viel motivierter.
I'm a math teacher from Feldkirch in Vorarlberg. I'm here for the first time and I'll take a look at this great competition. Many of my students are motivated, so I am too.
I'm happy that actually to see the kids, so many of them.
I've never been to a competition with 175 people. I've seen the rooms at the university filled with students for exams and so on, but the feel of the room is completely different.
That's it's a really touching moment actually to contribute to this activity.
Running such an event has a lot of planning involved.
Of course, I was not organizing it alone. There was an organizing team which did much more than me. Sandra Naschberger and Caroline Koppel-Blob.
They did everything really, really helpful in all of this.
There was a lot of work to do, contacting the schools, handling administrative tasks with the university, and taking care of registrations. With so many tasks to manage and energy spent, you might wonder what kept everyone going.
Cups of coffee, maybe I can't count them. Uncountably, no, I don't want to say that.
The students received a brief introduction from our Dean of Studies, who reminded them once more about the importance of working together.
Es kommt nämlich ehrlich gesagt dem auch viel näher, was wir in der Forschung machen. Also die mathematische Forschung ist sehr viel mehr Teamarbeit, als man glaubt. Da lösen wir zusammen Probleme, so wie hier auch.
And with that, the competition began, lasting for 2 hours. But you've already seen this. This is one of the problems the students need to solve. Look at the squares here. The area of the square in the top right is 8 units. What is the area of the largest square? Here is one more problem. Say you have a bottle with some water in it. The bottle has a total height of 21 units, but the water only fills it up to a height of 13 units. However, if you turn the bottle around, the water fills the bottle to a height of 14 units. You also know that the cylindrical part of the bottle is 16 units high. To what percentage is the bottle filled with water? Both these problems aren't too difficult, and I'll leave them to you to figure them out if you want to. Also, you can find the solutions way at the end of the video.
So we're about 20 minutes into the competition, queues are slowing down a bit, not quite as many people are coming, but they're still getting new solutions. But look at this, we don't only have this room. Here's another room of students taking part in the competition. I hope they're all having fun.
The competition isn't just happening in these two rooms.
Das Interessante ist, er findet komplett zeitgleich statt in 11 verschiedenen Ländern. Also in 11 verschiedenen Ländern gibt es das Gleiche wie hier jetzt. Deshalb haben wir auch eine sehr strenge Deadline, die wir einhalten müssen. Wir dürfen nicht vorher anfangen und wir müssen auch punktgenau wieder aufhören.
Yes, apart from Austria, the competition is taking place in Slovakia, where it is centrally organized, to be held in all these other European countries and in Iran. Everywhere, the current results are displayed in a live feed, all supported by a special administrative computer system.
Okay, so the competition works in this way. Every team of these 25 teams in this room and in the other room get at the beginning 6 exercises that are sealed in an envelope. At the beginning of the competition, they can open this envelope and start working on these 6 exercises like in any order, it doesn't matter. They can work on them as a team, or each team member can work on a single problem. Once they come up with a solution, they go to this checkpoint here in front, where they present the solution to controllers. They just check, is this correct or is this not correct, or is it incomplete? And if it is correct, they will move on to the scanning station, as you've just seen. So here the problems get scanned with a barcode scanner. That means there is a barcode in the lower corner of this exercise that will get scanned, and then it's officially a solved exercise for this team. Then the solved exercises get put into these envelopes here. For each team there is a brown envelope to keep check of the already solved exercises. And additionally, they will get a new problem. For every team there is quite a thick block of exercises that they can solve. And they will get another one such that they have 6 exercises to solve.
Every team should solve something. And it works out. Today, every team has solved something.
On top of the live evaluation, it's worth mentioning that the contestants are between 14 and 19 years old and might not be all that comfortable with English. So all exercises are translated into their local languages. And getting those translations just right is really important.
There is a lot of testing, that's the first answer. So the problems get created by, 30, 40 people. And then they get translated into different languages. There are testers. Based on that feedback, they will swap out exercises for easier ones or for even more difficult ones. Because they should be in ascending difficulty, basically. That's also hard to figure out, right?
So in the last 15 minutes of the competition, most people have worked through the easier examples already and are now working on the difficult ones. And this is where they get a little bit desperate and start guessing solutions. And so if this happens too often, the correctors are allowed to ask the participants for their solution or how they came up with the solution.
In the last few minutes, students are racing to hand in their final examples. The air is thick with concentration as they work against the clock. The queue for checking answers grows, but everyone in line gets their turn. Once the competition wraps up, the students' teachers are allowed back in. Some students are happy about how they performed, others not so much. An unavoidable part of every competition. Afterward, everyone heads to the cafeteria for lunch before the award ceremony. Of course, this is just a local award ceremony that ranks teams only here, while the global standings will be posted on the website.
War cool. Ja, es ist immer eine tolle Erfahrung, auch das Vorrennen, Zurückrennen, dass man nicht gleich alle Aufgaben hat, sondern immer neue bekommt.
Registrations for this year have just opened.
Sure, next year there will be Naboi 2025 on March 14. So everybody's welcome to join.